No. No. Ruby, don't go to the dark side. Ruby, don't go to the dark side. It's exactly what I didn't want to happen. I knew it was going to happen. We all knew that Ruby was going to go dark mode. I didn't think she was going to go double eye dark mode. That's something completely different. I don't think we've ever really had Aqua do that. I think he's always had just one single eye. I think even with the whole like beginning segment, like in the first episode, it was still a single eye. But either way, not happy. Not happy with this finale. Thank goodness they announced a third season, because I would be livid. This would not be a good ending. Just too many things are being brought up. Too many questions are being brought up. That whole later segment has like so many bits in there that we're going to go through one by one, but damn, what a finale for this season. Honestly, I was a little bit mixed on the whole Tokyo Blade stuff. I felt like it kind of stuck in that stuff a little bit too long, but I really do like the fact that they finally got into stuff. They started doing big reveals and massive question marks. And my gosh, that last scene, the post-credit scene, by the way, if you missed that, go watch that now. What? I don't know if that's supposed to be current time or in the past. I'm assuming it's current time, which makes me believe that Papa's going around and making more babies. I don't know. Another girl that has double star eyes, similar to eyes, and he took them out. I don't recognize the girl. It was sucky because like when the post scene, like after the song finished, it cut over to somebody fallen, and from the side it almost made me think it was Akane, and I was like, holy crap, somebody killed Akane. And then it like cut over and I'm like, okay, never mind, it's not Akane. Who is this? Is this the crow girl? Is this in the past? Is this the crow girl when the father killed the crow girl? No, the eyes are different. The hair's kind of slightly different. Like, massive question marks. Who is this chick? I'm assuming it's somebody that hasn't been shown yet, and this might be a later scene. I like I said before, I do read the manga up into what's been adapted. This isn't at the end of this arc. So they're showing something ahead of us. And I don't know if it's, again, in the past, because the father looks kind of young, but he doesn't look that young. It could have been back when he first got there. I have a ton of theories. Again, I'm assuming it's somebody that maybe we haven't seen yet. Maybe it's just showing that the father is still killing people. Maybe he finds joy out of it. Again, the fact that this girl's got starry eyes makes me believe that it could be an aspect that that's something that he sort of embeds in people. This idea that there's a... my theories are going a million directions. Okay, let's start with my theories here. Who is the father? I'm starting to believe the father might be some sort of deity. The father might be some sort of god that is trying to produce something that is bedding women and impregnating them and possibly trying to create something out of them. And that might be the whole case of Ruby and Aqua and possibly anybody else and the fact that he's in the entertainment industry. This could be some sort of god of entertainment trying to create entertainment. And yes, Ruby and Aqua are doing a pretty good job right now, so he's happy with them, but he's been going around killing other ones. And that's my current theory. The other theory that I have here is that this person is somehow connected to the crow. The crow might be a goddess, and they're connected somehow, and possibly way back here, he killed the crow. And thus, this is why the crow is trying to enact this stuff with Aqua and Ruby in order to find and kill him. That's the other theory that I have there. Just the fact that everybody that seems to be tied to this guy seems to have these eyes makes me believe that it's some sort of supernatural thing, that he is producing people, and the symbolisms of it in the story is that they get these star eyes. That would explain why this girl that we see in the very end of this episode, who I don't think we've ever seen before, has those eyes as well. That would explain why Ai herself had those eyes. I don't know. No, because I think that she had them before she went into the entertainment industry. When they first showed her in the first episode, she had the starry eyes. So it can't be related to him in any way, because she wouldn't have met him yet. Never mind. So many thoughts here. Maybe it's just the idea of these are people with some sort of passion. The eyes are just a passion. They have something they're going towards. That would explain why Aqua right now has nothing he's striving for. Before he had, seeking out the killer, and that was his driving force, and it was a bright eye. But then at some point when that got really, really kind of enveloped in him, he went to a dark place, it became a dark eye. Ruby has always had this desire, this goal, which was the bright eye. Now she has this dark desire, which is the dark eye. Ai, way back here, had his aspirations of being something great, made her the starry eyes, both eyes. Then over here, Akane mimicking eye, mimicking that stardom, that desire becomes the eyes. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to connect the eyes to specifically the action of which this person is taking. And it could be this person that the father killed is possibly just somebody that is involved somehow. Maybe there was no involvement of having a child or producing a child. And like I said, I'm still mixed on if this is in the past, that maybe that was why he was at the hospital at the time. But the assumption there is that he was at the hospital in order to take down Ai because he was there with the killer. And then just so happens, Goro kind of stumbled upon this guy, and then maybe after everything that happened there, he ran away. I mean, some other theories on the eye is that it could just be anybody that is tied in with him, or at least seeking him out. This could have been somebody that was trying to expose him for being a killer of Ai, and just simply anybody that is trying to somehow be connected to him directly, or seeking him out, or trying to find him, gets those eyes. This could also be the Crow Girl's mother. She could be in the same situation as Aqua and Ruby, and the idea that this guy killed her mother, and that's why she's trying to seek him out. But again, I'm still thinking that the Crow Girl is going to be a deity of some sort. But either way, that could be reason why she's trying to get Ruby and Aqua stirred up, trying to get them to seek out this person, trying to find the killer. I mean, there's a ton of possibilities. Just keep going. Anyways, other stuff in that later part that kind of threw me through loops is obviously this brief shot of Taishi's computer, which I think that is his room. Briefly, we've seen his computer, and it has this proposal for a 15-year lie provisional. Now, I've been kind of mixed on that computer throughout the series. Every time it shows that computer, there's some files or folders on the desktop that is related to Ai and a bunch of different people in the industry, which makes sense. This guy's a director. He's going to have a lot of files on people, information. But the assumption there is that this guy has always been, either working alongside Aqua to find out who the killer is, or possibly just Aqua is using his computer all the time, and these are the files that he's leaving on it as he's researching. So the massive question mark I have is this proposal for a 15-year lie, is this being wrote by Aqua, or is this being wrote by Taishi? Which one of them is writing this? Because the assumption here of what this proposal is the story possibly of Ai, or it could be just the story of Aqua trying to find this killer. Overall, what I think this proposal, it could just be either a movie that one of the two of them wants to create, or just a book or something, or a script that they're trying to write that is the story of the industry and what happened to Ai. Possibly trying to finally bring to light what happened to Ai and to expose the dark side of this industry. Possibility. I don't know why Aqua himself would want to do this, because is the story over? Does he really think inside somewhere in there, does he really truly think it's over? Because I think, again, I agree with Akane. I think he's trying to run away from this. He's trying to accept this way too easily. Maybe he's trying to create a delusion for himself. Additionally, yes, we finally got to see Ichigo. He's out fishing, and for some reason, the anime has not been wanting to show that he's been out fishing this entire time. But that's where he's been. He's been fishing. I don't know any more details than that, other than the fact that he's fishing. I'm assuming, like everybody else is assuming, this is something I think they brought up really early in the anime, that once Ai was killed, he just kind of disappeared. And that's why Miyako had to step up. Best mom, by the way. That's why Miyako had to step up and take care of those kids and take care of the entire company. Is this dude's been sitting out there fishing. So what the hell he's been doing out there? There you go. But yeah, they also revealed that they're going on to their second years. Akane and Arima has moved on to their third years, and this is the year in which their endeavors begin to make strides. Their popularity and whatnot is starting to take off. So apparently going into the third season, possibly you're going to have them starting to become big shots in the industry. And that'd be interesting to kind of take that direction, because again, that's going to put them more in the spotlight. More things are going to be available. If this stuff does come back to Aqua, where he does start to strive for something again, maybe possibly he'll have better connections this time around. But let's get into the episode proper. I jumped way ahead of the end of it, but I do want to get into the entire episode because there's some big stuff in here. But yes, we open up the episode with, yes, everybody's seen the corpse. I had this massive question mark as who's going to tell Aqua what they found? Because sometimes with death and finding bodies, the Japanese police and whatnot are very, very secretive of what they find. They don't make it public knowledge. It doesn't get broadcast on the news in a lot of cases. There's just kind of there's a person that was found, blah, blah, and they contact the families directly and let them decide if they want to be public with it. So they don't like to just broadcast everything that happened. So it's sort of a privacy thing they kind of take seriously. But no, legit Aqua was there. Like, he went to the crime scene. So that was a shocker there. So he knows full well They found his body. So that answered that question. I was really curious as to if Ruby was going to tell him, if Akane was going to tell him. So I was assuming Akane would, but he knows. Ruby's obviously distraught. Yes, she seems to be kind of wanting to go along with everything. She's just, this entire episode, Ruby was just dead inside. And it just, again, broke my heart. This is what I didn't want to happen. And I was really hoping by the end of this episode, Aqua would say, hey, that was me. I'm here. Don't worry. So we're probably going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait before finally Aqua says, girl, it's okay. I'm right here. I can't say the same for but I am here. I'm right here with you. But no, that's when we get the scene with Aqua and Akane. Now, when I first watched this, I actually skimmed this a couple times after I watched it the first time because I was really trying to get what is Akane saying here. Because yes, it starts out with Aqua saying, I'm sorry that you had to see that. I do like that aspect of him almost apologizing for her seeing something so grotesque. It almost is like because he went out there and he's seen his body and how it was decayed, there's almost like an embarrassment there that you had to see me like that looking so nasty. That's me exposing my grotesqueness to you. But yes, it is also a thing of, I made you see a decayed corpse, which, yes, for a lot of people is very traumatizing. I don't think that I would be traumatized by seeing something like that, but I can see a lot of people being traumatized by something like that. But no, he's apologizing. She's like, no, don't apologize. You keep doing that. You keep shouldering all that burden. This is, once again, Aqua being Aqua, and Akane acknowledging this is how he is. He puts everything on his own shoulders. That was like what he revealed to her, that he was looking for somebody. It was him shouldering everything. And she's seen that he's doing that again. But no, he says, no, I apologize because I brought you here so that you can possibly find it for me. Because I know that you think like that and you're smart and you can figure this stuff out. I brought you here with us so that you could find it. I wasn't bringing you here because I wanted us to all have fun together. He's literally saying, I brought you, Akane, so that you can solve this mystery. That's it. And he's apologizing for that because he's obviously dragging her into something, and this is something that led to her finding something very unsettling. And this is where it kind of gets weird because this is the point where Akane starts to distance herself. She said that the whole reason she came here and accepted this was so that she can get that moment where she can break up with him. So they both have ulterior motives. He wanted her to find this, and she wanted to come here to break up. Here's the interesting thing. What led her to suddenly break off? She suddenly is in her mind going, yes, I wanted to break up. And she's saying, yeah, this is a good time to say this. Yeah, it's good that you are without me. And I couldn't figure out what led her to this. He's saying, I needed you and you fulfilled this. I'm sorry. And he's still shouldering this stuff. And she's saying, no, don't worry about it. Yes, I knew that you're using me. It's fine. But this is why I can't be with you. What I came to a conclusion of is that this is basically Akane realizing if she's around Aqua, he's going to keep using her, which keeps leading him into pain. He's shouldering everything and he's using her, which he said she was fine with. Yeah, use me. In the previous episodes. So I'm not useful to you anymore. So you don't need me anymore. You don't need to use me anymore. She was okay with him using her as long as she could be at his side. But I think right here, she's literally acknowledging that if I keep being with him, he'll keep using me. He'll keep getting stuck in trying to figure things out. In the end, I'm causing him pain. That's my assumption there. But either way, she came here with that intention. And we already knew that they were going to break up. So she's finally accepting it. It's fine. I'm going to break up with him. I was already going to break up with him. He's done. He's got closure on this. He found this body he was looking for. Everything's wrapped up. I can finally walk away from him. But the opposite side, here's the interesting thing, and I might be drawing too much conclusion here, but this is the direction that I think it's going. Aqua says, oh, no, that's all right. I can finally say this. Or I think he was saying that he took too long to say it. But literally, now that everything's done, now I want to protect you. And he kissed her. Now he wants to have a relationship with Akane. Now before, the question mark was, did he really love Akane? He didn't think that so. You know, we never loved each other. It was all about this, and I was using you and all this kind of stuff. But now he's saying, now I'm okay with being with you, Akane, because everything's wrapped up, and now I want to protect you. This is equally, I mean, again, like with the whole Akane thing, I will kill for you and all that kind of stuff. It's always like the yandere thing, like this girl will do anything for you. It's super hot, all that kind of stuff. This is the same for Aqua. Literally, Aqua, I think right here is saying, I need to protect something. I always need a goal to fight for. He's literally, it feels like for me, that Aqua just wants something to protect or fight. And right here, he's trying to gain a new purpose by getting with Akane, which isn't love. I don't think he loves Akane right here. I think he literally just wants to take Akane and fit her into that hole that he just created by having closure. I no longer am looking for my body. I no longer am looking for the killer of I. I need something. I need something to protect. I need something to fight. Akane, go in there. Fit in that hole. He wants to feel the hole. I don't know. Because nothing played out like Doki Doki. I suddenly love Akane. Oh my gosh, Akane's always been there for me. It was literally just she's crying and he just goes, I need this. I need something to protect. I don't know. I think that's the direction it's going. I never downplay Akasaka. This dude's a genius. And I think that's the direction he's going here. Because I think that if Akasaka wanted romance to blossom in this scene, it would have made it more clear that he has fallen in love with Akane right here. That didn't feel like it. This scene didn't feel like it. It felt like Akane vulnerable. Aqua stands up and says, I will protect you now. I don't know. Now, technically, that kind of feeling and that feeling of protecting and stuff like that does connect itself to love. You are something I want to protect now because you're something special to me. But I don't think that was the scene. We'll see, though. Really, really interesting scene, though. But then, yes, we have right after that another double whammy. Ruby on the rooftop of the hospital running into the Crow Girl, or the Raven Girl, whatever you want to call it. I think it's Crow Girl. Yeah, naughty thing. You took something from my... I think in the anime it says you took my corpse. And in the manga it says you took something from the corpse, you naughty girl, because she had the tag. Either way, you basically messed with something that was mine. You got in here, you weren't supposed to be in there, you took something that I was preserving, which is very interesting. It almost plays it out like that she was keeping this thing here. Again, the manga more plays it out like, oh, I know that you were there. Whereas the anime more feels like you got and took something of mine. You messed with this thing that I had. Either way, ask the question, are you related to this doctor or something like this? Do you have some relationship with this doctor? I understand how you feel. Now, this plays into my theory that I was having at the very end, that possibly this girl at the end was the Crow Girl, or maybe tied to the Crow Girl. But either way, she knows how he feels. That you lost somebody. The Crow lost somebody. The Crow Girl has lost somebody similar to what Ruby has. And then, yes, Ruby kind of brushes her off and says, you don't know how I feel. You're just a kid. Obviously not knowing this is probably some supernatural being and not necessarily an actual kid. Which probably Ruby should have connected right here, because the Crow Girl starts to reveal a bunch of stuff. Oh, but I have information that you're looking for. I know what you're trying to figure out. Yeah, there was this idol back here that was secretly having a baby. This doctor disappeared the same day. Kind of fishy, right? It's almost as if something pushed it to happen. The Crow Girl almost implies here that some sort of push was happening here. Somebody manipulated something for it to happen at that certain point. Which, yes, does lead to into my theory of the idea of the father being some sort of deity as well, or some supernatural being that is trying to produce certain individuals. And specifically, they wanted to do this whole action here in order to produce something with I herself. That doesn't explain why Serena herself would have been included in this, but it could have been the inclusion of, Aqua. Because again, they mentioned that I was going to have 2 children with no souls. I was going to have stillbirths. The assumption is that there is an inclusion of souls in this world, and without the soul, you would assume they're going to be stillbirths. So possibility that if the father is some sort of special being or something like that, they could have had that in their mind and go, okay, I need to have 2 souls in the area. Let's take these 2 out. Possibility. But yes, the Crow Girl has to plant into Ruby's head and start this whole thing up that, yeah, which I totally forgot about in my previous video. I'm sure plenty of comments were saying this. That, yeah, you had this one guy that was involved in the death. You had him involved with Ai's death. And yeah, that was the one that, ended his own life. And then, yes, you have over here somebody else. Who? I don't know. That's something for you to figure out. And thus it starts. That somebody was involved in both the doctor's death and my mom's death, the 2 special people to me, and they're still out there happy and living. I had to find them. Interesting, though, later on, when they're doing their wishes, they're doing their prayers, what does Ruby say? I hope Aqua finds them fast. She's not looking. Because she's assuming Aqua is. Because her conversation with Akane obviously indicated that Aqua was seeking somebody out in the industry, and she knows damn full well that my brother Aqua gives a rat's butt about anybody but our mother. And thus, she knows based on what Akane said. And Akane is like, no, I gotta be careful. I can't reveal too much. Ruby knows. Ruby's like, I know my brother. He gives a squat about anybody else but mom. And so he's already connected it. Aqua has already connected it. Ruby knows Aqua has already connected it. And he's looking for that person. I know. But she thinks that he's looking. He's not currently looking. So she's probably going to be sitting there waiting for him to find her. So I think that's going to be the interesting thing here is that you're going to have going, and that's probably why it's been so quiet for the last half year, because we have a half year jump. Ruby's expecting Aqua's looking. Aqua's not looking. They're just living at this point. They're literally just living. And yeah, Ruby is in a bad spot, but they're just living. They're just existing. So something's got to stir it up, and that might be what that proposal is. That if that is either Taishi or if that is Aqua, they're going to have that put out there, and that's going to trigger something in Ruby to go, wait, so you think it's done? Watch, they make a movie out of this whole situation, and Ruby's like, that's not the ending. I thought you were still looking. You're not looking? You think it's over? No, there's somebody else. What the hell are you thinking, brother? Ugh, jeez. But yeah, that's when we get the scene at the river, which was interesting because, yes, Monemone notes that, yes, Kana is obviously doing a really great job. She knows how to capture people. Specifically, Memcho is holding back for some reason. Finally get a little hint at some story for Memcho. Poor Memcho has always been off the side, just being the geek about YouTube and stuff like that, which I love. Now they're finally getting to something that she's going through. Finally hinting at a story beat for Memcho. That Memcho is apparently holding back. Why is she holding back? Memcho doesn't show or exhibit individuality and showiness. I'm assuming that she's not a team player. Because typically with a content creator, YouTuber, unless they're doing a lot of like guests and appearances or interviews or whatever, they're not really a team player. There could also be an aspect here that she is starting to feel the weight of her age, and thus she feels like she's not good enough. And there might be a little issue there of her own confidence. Either way, I'm happy to finally see something from Memcho. But yes, finally they look over to Ruby. It's her turn. And yes, she says, hopes to find them quickly because she wants to kill them. Wants to find them and kill them. And then 2 black eyes. The 2 eyes. I was like, no. And that shot, they pretty much had that same shot that they had with Aqua after the funeral. That she is in this very dark place. And my gosh, Monemone, she used it. I cannot believe they put it in the freaking music video. The moment they showed it, because I knew it was the case because she was like shocked by it. And then later on when they said, can we get this footage? Everything's wrapped up. Can we get it soon? Yeah, I'll get this one to you quickly. But the other one, give me some time. I want to be an artist. And sure enough, she went out of her way to somehow implement Ruby in that dark state into the video, which is crazy because it's a boppin' track. That music video is super boppin'. I love it. It is a great song. I don't like the ending of it. It sounds like that gang noise. I really don't like that segment, but the rest of it's great. But again, the entire time it's like every now and then you see these shots of Ruby and she's in this dark moment. She's crying or whatever. And it's like, that's kind of unsettling. Why would you have this in this music video? It works, I guess, to have that unsettlingness. Or additionally, is it the aspect that because we know what she's going through, it changes the perspective? It almost makes you think the purpose for having that in the music video as a viewer and a reader for this series is to show you that sometimes you'll see somebody hurting or crying in a music video, whatever, and you're like, oh, they're just acting. Oh, it's just a moment in the video. But then because you know the context to it, it actually makes sense and it kind of hurts or it makes it unsettling. I don't know, it's just a thought there. But anyways, yeah, Ruby breaking. Ugh, her in that water just absolutely in a bad state. This is not what I wanted because I knew they weren't going to wrap up this in this season. This is why I didn't want Ruby to go dark mode yet. I know I ever wanted to go dark mode because she's in a bad place, but still, it's like I didn't want this to come up, and especially not this finale because I knew that we were going to have another season for anytime soon, and I have to wait. But yeah, we have the scene with Akane and Kana in the onsen, and yes, her talking about how it's no longer acting, and kind of like, crap, wait, is that what they think it means? So yeah, Kana getting tipped off that this relationship with Akane and Aqua is going somewhere. Now, Kana could be seeing this from Akane and going, oh, now Akane's serious, where she wasn't before. Or Kana right here could be thinking, oh, so they're actually going to both start being serious about the relationship, which is heartbreaking for Kana. Yes, it's one side to say, okay, Akane is being serious now, whatever, I'm just going to have to step it up. But another side, if Kana believes that statement means the two of them are serious now, thus implying to Kana, give up on Aqua, which is, again, super heartbreaking, especially after how much Aqua took that whole dinner and everything seriously with Kana. It's kind of like almost leading her on. But again, that's also Kana in her own mind making that time together as a date. And Aqua wasn't really it wasn't presented to Aqua as that. It still sucks though. My poor Kana getting heartbroken. But no, what was cool in the scene is Kana bringing up the fact that Akane's got this new film coming up. And the whole reason that brings it up is that she's telling her, you need to stop messing around with this whole reality dating show act and focus on that. Kana right here is trying to give Akane some nice advice. Like, don't talk down to what you have. Don't equate this film that you're going to be a part of based on how many theaters it's in. This is your chance. Ride this wave. Take it seriously. Don't look at the job and go, well, it's only a certain amount, because then you're going to downplay it and you're not going to do a proper job. Ride that wave. Stop messing around with this fake relationship. It's actually good advice right here. I don't think Kana right here at that moment was saying that to say get away from Aqua. She was legitimately saying, I envy you. Ride it. I wish I was in your position right now. You have a chance. Take it. Really cool. But yeah, that's when we have Akane and Ruby, and again, Ruby's seen right through that. She's like, what do you think my brother's doing? Why do you think he became an actor? Oh, I think he's fixated on the industry and he's a trend chaser. So he's probably just trying to seek somebody out. And I like how, again, Akane's like, I shouldn't get her involved because it's going to strike something up again. I don't want to drag him back into that. And Ruby's over here like, yep, he's looking for him. He's looking for him. He's looking for him, which makes you surprised that Ruby hasn't confronted him yet about it. So that makes me think that probably the other thing that could trigger this to keep going, or at least to start back up, is, will at some point Ruby finally go to him and say, what have you found yet? What have you got so far? I don't know. But yeah, that's when we get the music video. Like I said, a little bit unsettling, seeing her in there crying and just absolutely destroyed. Probably really good shots, though. I mean, it looked great, but we got that kind of artistic style to it. And then that later scene, the very end, which I've already kind of talked about to death. Man, yeah, this video turned out to be super long, but it was a crazy finale. Way too many question marks. I have so many theories as the direction it can go from here. Again, like I mentioned earlier, my assumption here is that we're probably going to have them kind of both doing their own thing. My assumption is a big kickoff point to kind of stirring things back up could be that proposal, which again, if it is a script or something like that, it might stir something back up. Ruby might confront him again, question what he's found so far. It might dig at her so much that she finally speaks up. Or it can go back to my previous theory on that at some point, Aqua finally confronts her like, what's got you down right now? I'm surprised we've jumped forward half a year because you would assume at this point that Aqua would ask her what's going on. But again, that the assumption here probably in his mind is that, yes, she just seen a corpse. But to hold on to it for that long, that's the question mark. Half a year and she's still like, it's clear as day. She's not looking good. Aqua's got to figure it out that she's not in a good space. And so he would assume that, no, this is something bigger. Something's happening here. Question her, find out what's wrong with her. And yes, maybe the assumption comes ahead. She must have known who this doctor was. She must have known who I was. What's going on, Ruby? What's got you down? It's that body. I knew that person. That was me. Fixes her. Not fixes her completely, but at least gets her out of the dumps. What's not causing him to ask? That's the question mark. Anyways, it's my thoughts on the finale. Really great episode. Looking forward to the new season. I don't think they said anything about when it's going to be coming. Yeah, they just confirmed the production, so we don't have a date, no time frame whatsoever, so we'll have to wait, but I'm super excited for the next season coming around. It's heartbreaking. I don't like Ruby in this state. I hate it so much, and we all knew it was coming. But anyhow, I'm getting back into it. I hope you guys enjoyed my finale impressions, and thank you guys so much for coming every single week for my impressions on this series. Your guys' support has been fantastic. I hope you guys will stick around and join me into the next season. I'm doing first impressions of all the new shows of the season. But if you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you like this content and you like to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate that support channel. Until next time, y'all take care.